1075 WGCI, the Shaw's #1 for hip hop and R&B. It's the morning show with the destined legend Leon Rogers.
Here.
Beautiful Kendra G.
Hey.
Florida State man in Chicago, Kyle. And on the line, as y'all can see, this brother's been holding down for VA forever, still representing. It's almost dry. It's almost dry.
Mr. The only misdemeanor.
Yeah. We're joined by Pusha T this morning. What up, Push?
What's up? What's up? Thank you for having me. Good morning.
It's a pleasure, bro, man. We've been watching you do your thing for so long now. You got this new project that just dropped. It's almost dry. And I'm going to just start off top by saying you're in a very unique position. And I'm finally glad to see that you have an album out with Pharrell and Kanye doing the majority of the production, because you've been tied in with these two brothers for a long time, bro.
Yes.
What took so
very
long
time.
What took so long to make this happen?
I don't think there was never really a timetable on it. When I get in album mode, it's really about making, an album that's like super cohesive. So if I get in album mode with Kanye, we really just lock in and get it done, very, very, very quickly. Well, I ain't gonna say it's quick, but we're very focused on the project, and I really don't leave that wheelhouse or leave that house to go anywhere else for anything else. This one, Pharrell basically started this album. It was done during the pandemic, and we basically just went down to Miami for a little while and started cooking up. I had a record from Ye when I went down there, and he heard it. It was called Hear Me Clearly, that made the album. And he made some comments on it. It was like, it wasn't to necessarily his liking. And he was like, oh, okay, well, this is what I want to do for you. And man, that started a back and forth of just me going from Miami to LA with different music and playing it for each of them each time from each other. Then I was like, man, you know what? We're going to stop this at 12 songs. You're going to give me 6 and you're going to give me 6. And it was like having my own personal versus battle.
That's dope, bro.
For real. Yeah.
You know what, Pusha T, I often talk about I went to Hampton University, and this is a proud moment because, in VA, I feel like I grew up with you. I graduated 20 years ago. But what I love about it is you're still relevant from that time when I was at Hampton to now. So let's talk about your secret to longevity.
Man, I think the secret to longevity is building yourself as a brand that people know what they're going to get. You know what I'm saying? I think when people see and hear Pusha T and think about me musically, they know exactly what I'm giving them at all times. And, and if you're with it and you like it, then cool, you know what to look for. If you're not with it, then it's really not for you. But even if it's not for you, you still know and can point people in the right direction to, like, listen, if that's what you like, you should go get that from over there. And I think that that has been the key to my longevity, and just never, straying away from the fundamentals of hip hop, lyric driven, hardcore street hip hop. I think that's what, people know that's what you're going to get from me every time.
Yes.
I second that, man, because as an older brother out here, it's been 2 times I done sat and listened to your album and was like, I could do this shit. Push make me, but I'm finna go out here and get me some work. I'm no more working at the radio station. It's on. My barcode is Netflix Narcos. Let's go.
Yes.
Almost got my ass locked up twice. I was like, boy, bruh, talk about the fact that, like, when we talk about the Coke era and all those things, some people go away with it. How do you find a way to flip these bars and come up with this imaginative lines to describe the lifestyle? Because one of the problems, me, Kyle, and Kendra, we talk about this all the time. I don't have a problem with drill music and stuff like that, but I just challenge the artist to be a little bit more creative in how they present it. And, then I can respect it a little bit more than just the bluntness of it. But how are you able to come up with such creative lines, but the blunt point still comes across?
Yeah, well, see, I think to me, you know, that's just the era in hip hop in which we came up in. Like it was always about saying what was real or saying what was fly, but regardless of how real it had to be fly. You had to say it in a way in which was clever enough. Like that's where just the artistry comes into play. It's like, man, we still using similes and the metaphors and drawing the parallels between things that you wouldn't necessarily, you know, draw them between. But you know, that's where the art form comes in. And I think that you know, I personally feel like without that, without the creativeness in it, the creativity in it, you know, the music will always kind of lack. Um, I've been priding myself on that here lately. Like, man, you know, I feel like we should just, I mean, me personally, I'm trying to dive more into the creativeness. I've been looking at it and telling people like, man, I want to be the Martin Scorsese of street rap. And it helps me when I say that, it helps me explain to people that I'm actually here to entertain you. I'm here to entertain you. I want to say, you know, I want to say the most cleverest things, and you know, don't get caught up in it being one for one true. Like I started this music started over a stove, really, for me. So it's like we got to progress even past that and really get into the art and keep building the art to the, you know, to newer and higher levels. And you know, I just liken it to the movie industry. Like, man, if we just look at it like that, then we're always gonna try to keep, you know, pushing our creativity to the next level, as well as, you know, still giving people, you know, what they feel and what they can see in the streets. You gotta remember hip hop was born in the streets. So it's like that street and reality edge is always gonna be there in some way, shape, or form to me.
Yeah. Hey, Push, I want to ask you about the dynamic between you and your brother, now known as No Malice. We've seen that you
Mm-hmm.
guys are still good. We've seen that you guys, you know, celebrating at the wedding and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But when he decided, you know what, I don't want to talk about these things anymore and I want to go in a different direction. And obviously you carried the torch that was started with Clips. What
Mm-hmm.
was that conversation like? Was there ever a time where you thought, well, maybe I shouldn't be talking about this anymore either? Or how did that conversation come about? And then y'all decided to, you know, let him do his thing and you do yours.
Man, I'll never forget it. We were on the road in like Sweden, and he came to me with like a manila envelope with a book that he had written that I didn't know he was writing. And he just handed it to me and was like, "Hey man, like, yo, I really think you should go solo. I'm writing this book. I've written this book. I want you to read it, and you know, I want you to really just run with it. Like I think it's time for you to go solo, and I'm basically on this type of time right now." And I feel like a lot of that had a lot to do with you know, things that were going on in our lives in regard to uh, you know, just the street culture, the streets, a lot of our friends getting locked up at the time. And my brother had kids. My brother had they were children at the time, who used to like uh, you know, play and were friends with a lot of our friends' kids. And he got to see sort of through his kids' eyes how they were affected by their parents being incarcerated and stuff. And he was just like, it was like a really telling moment, I think, for him. Um, and you know, that on top of whatever, you know, just convictions he had, I think seeing it through the families, the kids of the incarcerated eyes, I feel like you know, that helped, you know, sort of help him turn his path, honestly.
I love that. You know, Pusha T, this is our first interview with you, but you know, many years ago, you had a situation with Drake. You're the one that let us know Drake
Hmm.
had a child, and that
Hmm.
that back and forth y'all had. Now, obviously, you've been in the game longer in hip hop. Like I said, I went to Hampton. I've known you for more than 20 years. But some of the conversation I was seeing, I always want to get your take on it, is that people were saying that didn't know you, that may have knew Drake. Oh, he's beefing with Drake to become more popular, or because he's
Right.
more commercial successful, and that's why he's trying to be attached to Drake in that way. And I always wonder, because everybody here, we've been in this game for a long time. We've known you forever. Did that irritate you that people thought you were really trying to attach yourself to his celebrityness?
Nah, I mean, when I hear comments like that, I know that's from like an uneducated, like, you know, just I ain't even call them uneducated. I'm gonna say a new student of the game. Let's call them new students of the game. I know, anybody who knows me knows that like it's never been a popularity race for me. It's never been that. It's always been about credibility. And everything that's credible isn't the most popular because it's too real. And it's fine. I mean, I see a lot of things that people say in the media and on social media, but those who know know. And man, if you know, you know. Like
If you know, you know.
If you know,
If
you
you know, you know.
You know.
That's how I've lived. That's how I've lived my whole life. Like I don't, I'm not out here really trying to prove points, but the respect thing is like big with me. And when those lines get crossed, that's when we have what we have.
I know we gotta move on, but any regrets in that situation? Would you do anything?
Nah, never. I wouldn't do nothing different ever. Nothing. I love it all.
I love it.
Yo, so married man now, brother.
Yes.
Welcome to the club.
Right.
So now will we be hearing some different verses when wifey? She cut the feed off.
No.
I was like, hey, hold on, wait.
That was actually for real. That was for real. I had to decline them for y'all. I declined them. Nah, listen, you see, calling back. Nah,
like, hey man, answer my call.
No, it's GCI. No,
that's right.
No.
So married man now. Does that change the way King Push moves a little differently? Like maybe in one of your bars now, when you're talking that talk, you got to be like, but I still got to go cut the grass in the morning or something like that. Be on my back.
No, listen. You hear them. I think you hear it even on records, like just so you remember, like when I talk about like, man, she just spent $1 million on the finishes of the house and things like that. It's like, I think my family has always been a part of my music. And definitely more so now with my son. I talk about my son on Rock and Roll. My son is like a work of art. His father's like Shakespeare. And it's man, fatherhood is like such a beautiful thing to me. Like, this is my first son. I like, man, what I wait so long for. This is great. This is amazing. He's not gonna stop calling back, y'all. Tell him. He can keep calling. He's gonna keep calling. But yeah, man, it's I feel like, people will get those glimpses of my family life, in the music when it can be when I feel it's gonna be clever and clever or heart-wrenching or whatever. I'm not opposed to it, but again, like I'm here to like entertain. I'm here to entertain, and I'm here to like really just show people how long I can be competitive in this rap space. You know what I'm saying? Not just exist in the rap space. Like, no, I want people to know that these bars still can hold up against whatever's going on, new, popular, whatever the case may be. That's why I'm super proud. I was super proud in 2018 of being nominated for Daytona. Simply because I felt like the category was so representative of everything that was going on. And y'all know that Cardi B actually won, and won deservingly too. And but I just felt it was good because she was like super popular, like, what I'm saying, she earned it. She did a thing, had the records, but it was great to see the likes of Daytona next to her or next to the Travis Scott, and then Nipsey was on the other side, and then Mac Miller was on the other side. It was like they covered all bases, but
yeah.
I feel like that's what that's what this is supposed to be. And the best person wins. However they vote is how they vote. But this the first time I ever felt like, man, just being nominated was great. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't like that. I'm like, man, I want to take home the hardware and all that usually. But nah, it was done so well and so right and so representative that I thought it was really good.
Keep doing what you're doing, bro, because the lane that you represent is something that, like you said, it stands out now because the overall landscape has changed so much over the years.
Yes.
When you put out music, we appreciate it because we like, yes, we got something that we can grab hold on and rock with. You know what I'm saying? And just have it in the truck.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we appreciate
Yeah.
you, bro. I want to just put this out there too, because I don't know how much time we have left, but just to give you the last opportunity to wrap it up and speak to Chicago.
I got a question before we do that part though.
Okay, go ahead. Good.
So just piggyback off what you said about Cardi B. We all love Cardi B here. Like we're Cardi B fans, right? And it's but Cardi B has always been open that she doesn't write her own rhymes. Like she has never hid that she does have people that help her write some of her lyrics. So just from the standpoint of you still being excited for her, happy for her, but as a lyricist who writes his own records, that doesn't bother you at times that somebody might win an award over you if you did all of the work yourself and they may have had help?
Nah, I mean, I feel like this is the business of it. This is the business of it. And, I feel like Cardi B is the ultimate entertainer. But, for whatever ain't in the bar, it's in her personality. And, it's, I think she's being honest and open and she's been, very open about that. And imagine, us sitting back, not having Cardi B or not accepting her and her honesty and not, some gatekeeper saying like, oh, well, we ain't counting her. Like, nah, man, we'd be missing out. The whole culture would be missing out.
I love that.
Like, nah, I ain't going for that.
Would you look at it differently though? Like, even though if she was honest about that, but then claiming that she was the best MC, then does that competitive gene kick on?
That's different.
All right, okay.
That's different.
All right.
That's different.
And now, do you give her a pass because she's a female? Would you accept it if it was a guy?
Listen, what Leon said is the difference.
Okay.
When they act.
You can't be the GOAT. You can't be the GOAT MC if you ain't write your rhymes.
Nah.
Bro.
That's basically
like they're exactly, like they're these titles and things are what's like, that's what gets everything tricky.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, we, full respect to Cardi and everything she does, and she's a talent. And that's, and that's fine. Like, it's, bro, it is what it is.
Hey, Push, I got to put on my sales pitch hat for a minute. Here's the idea.
Okay.
You, Ross, Jay, the Griselda guys, Conway, Stove God Cooks.
Yep. We going to jail.
West Side
we
on the ad libs. West Side on the ad libs.
We going to jail tomorrow.
And we call it, the name of the song will be called The Longest Line of Coke.
Oh my God. We getting out of here. We getting out of here tomorrow.
No chorus. Just everybody just get their bars. Like a 5-minute long song. And then the remix I have Ghost and Ray on it.
Oh man. Let me tell you something. That the lineup alone is triple platinum.
Facts.
Alone.
Facts. All right, Push, man. Just speak to Chicago, man, on your way out the door, man. Anything you want to say to the city of Chicago in terms of how you've been relating to them your whole career?
Listen, the city of Chicago has been so instrumental in the grooming and the whole growing of my base, my fan base. And I'm talking about from the days of the clips to even accepting me as a solo artist on good music. Man, like I spent so much time in Chicago. I mean, all the time.
Yeah.
I love you guys. Like, just Chicago as a whole, I love you straight up. Y'all know what it is with me.
It is Chicago.
For real.
Pusha T on the line.
Hey,
Yes.
tell
Appreciate you,
Pharrell
bro.
he owe us an interview for calling and interrupting yours.
Listen,
Say,
and he was gonna keep calling back. He gonna keep calling.
We'll see you when you get in town for the show, bro.
Yes, sir.
hey man, give
Love.
me something so I can flex on Zoe when I see him. I'm like, yeah, Zoe, I was just rapping with your man Push today, you know.
Yo,
Told me
Zoe
I
is
would
my
fly out
man. Zoe is my man. Zoe is my guy.
and
Bye, Pusha.
I appreciate you, bro.
Love.